Even gorgeous Laura panics. No,
Oh yes, you never stop
I'm not
panicking.
convinced. So, okay, I guess we're live now on Facebook, Laura. So welcome everyone to our free session today of storytelling for young learners. And I'm not gonna introduce myself. I'm just going to let Laura introduce herself. She is the star of tonight. So Laura, okay, go ahead. You have the mic and I'll give you the host as well.
Oh yes, so I can do share screen and stuff.
Do whatever you want. It's all yours.
Ah yes, because I've got my PowerPoint and things, yes. Okay, right. In that case, I shall start.
Laura, I just
Yes.
like to remind
Please
the
remind me.
attendees, it's all recorded, so make sure that your cameras doesn't turn on by accident, because we are not going to remove this live video from Facebook or from YouTube. So welcome again to the storytelling free session today with Laura Woodward. And now I will leave you with Laura.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Okay,
you, Laura.
thank you, Mohammed, as always, Mr. Helpful. Where would I be without you? So good evening, everybody. Sincere apologies for all our previous, my previous sound problems. I hope it's solved. I haven't had any problems since. So I do see a lot of familiar names, which is lovely. Some people I might not know, so I will just introduce myself very briefly. As you know, my name is Laura. I'm from the UK, and I'm a teacher and a teacher trainer. I'm working freelance. I've probably spent nearly half of my life outside the United Kingdom, living mostly in Turkey, the Middle East, and now Egypt. This is, I think, coming to my second year. Where did the time go? In October, it will be my second year. I am a CELTA tutor, but of course, I'm a teacher trainer for primary, secondary, and university teachers as well. So my job has given me the great fortune of traveling to many countries, working with lots of amazing teachers like yourselves, working on all kinds of projects and different types of training with ministries and schools. Oh, those are very nice compliments. So tonight, I know many of you know me as a CELTA tutor, but my other great love, apart from teaching, which is always my first love, is working with children. So I like working with primary and preschool teachers a great deal. And another of my very favoritist things, as we used to say when we were children, is the use of stories in teaching. So this is very, very important to me. So I'll just do a couple of admin things before I start, because I will forget otherwise, because I am old and forgetful. There's the hashtag. Egypt is very kind to welcome me. The honor is all mine. Thank you. And I will add screenshots so that you can share. Alrighty. So I'll just put that in there. Alright. Mohammed might need to remind me of something shortly. Right, so we've got some hands. Right, who's raised their hand? I can see Rehab. Yes. Okay. Do you have a question, my dear?
No, sorry, wallahi, I don't mean it. Sorry.
Oh, you were just, were you doing some exercises? No problem at all. No problem at all.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Nice to know you're awake.
Okay.
Okay, just put your hand down.
Okay.
And you can see another one, Abdurrahman. He's got his hand up. Do you want to ask us something? Nope, he's gone quiet as well. Okay. All right, so I'll just put your hand down for now. Feel free to raise it later. Okay, and Nagla? Nagla? Is that you? Do you want to ask us something? Right, I'm going to assume that nobody wants to raise their hands just for now. All right. So, oops, it's still there. Would you like to say something to us? You don't have to. All right. So we will carry on. You see, teachers, we are like our students. We're like, I want to ask something. I want to ask something, which is nice. All right. So I'll just close that bit there. Oh, no, no. All right. I'll just get rid of that part. Okay. So, as I said, we are going to have a storytelling session tonight. Okay. So I've put the hashtag in so that you can share it. Oh, Mr. Heliopolis, how very nice. Questions are permitted throughout. Obviously, sometimes are better than others, so feel free. If you have a question, raise your hand. I'm very well, Mr. Heliopolis. Very nice to see you. Very nice to see a lot of CELTA babies. Okay. You've seen, you might want to check your sound if you can't hear, because my sound is now fine. Yes, finally. So check your modem, you might need to restart. Okay. So, tonight, the title, as you saw, is Story as Vehicle, or you can say Story as a Vehicle, Story as Vehicle. I kind of adapted a title that I saw in a methodology book written by the great Gail Ellis, another great young learner goddess in the teaching world. So my aim tonight is to just give you a couple of ideas or share some ideas, all right, and just use a modern story and give you a few ideas to work with in class. Somebody's asked about websites. I'll publish websites at the end, okay, with the, actually, once we've finished the session itself, all right? But please feel free to remind me at the end. Okay, just so that we don't get distracted. So, let's get started. Session is recording, yes? Okay. Story as vehicle is, oops, somebody's raised their hands. Who are you? What would you like to ask? Wait a minute, who's got hands raised? Again. Hello. Are some of you just raising your hands for fun? Okay. There will be times when I want you to unmute, okay? Because in this story, I want you to join in a bit, okay? So when I want you to unmute, I will tell you, because I want you to join in with parts of the story, because a story in class, when you're teaching children, doesn't work if join in. Because with children, when you tell a story, they would be interrupting. If you say, right, good morning, children, we're going to have a story about a dog today, they'll be like, oh, my brother's got a dog, and it's really big, and it's got a big fluffy tail. Thank you. Oh, did I accidentally mute myself? All right, I'm back. Okay. Let's start that bit again. Somehow I got muted. I think we're okay now. So when you're telling stories with children, they should be involved. All right, that's very, very important. Okay. Mr. Mego wants to a question. Hello. Yes. Good evening. Okay. Now, because I see raised hands, but nobody's saying anything. So, hello. Yes.
Hi.
Hello. What's your question?
I can't hear anything.
I think you might have a problem with your connection.
Laura's screen.
So if you can't hear anything, Nagwa, the session is live on Facebook. You can go there now. And I really suggest, Laura, that you can delay the questions till the end of the session.
Yes, otherwise we'll never
they
finish.
raise their hands. You might be covering everything they would like to ask about.
Exactly. Yes.
So if you please
Yes,
wait
I agree.
until the end of the session,
Yes.
then ask your questions.
Absolutely.
And I guess you prepared a giveaway file, a Word file, Laura, or a PDF file that we're going to share with them as well.
Yes.
Okay, so you can include. Laura, I'll have to mute everybody, and that will also mute you.
Okay.
And whenever you want people share with you, you can nominate and unmute them yourself. I'm not going to give them the permission to be able to unmute themselves, because they sometimes accidentally unmute and have side.
Absolutely.
So I am muting everyone, and disallowing them to unmute themselves. I'm sorry, Laura, I'll just unmute you. And if you need anyone to speak with you, you just nominate and unmute him yourself or her.
All right.
Thank you, Laura.
So now I'm unmuted. I can start. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So
And
Mohammed, yes.
I might pause the chat as well.
Yes. Good idea. Absolutely fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I don't want you to get distracted, Laura. I know that you are so generous with question answers and distracted with questions. So I'm going to stop the chat.
Wonderful. Okay. So I will unmute when I want you to join in. All right. So that'll probably be easier. Thank you, Mohammed. That's going to help a lot.
You unmute one by one. The one who want to give you the answer.
Sure, sure. Okay. All right. So, as I said, the session title is Story as Vehicle. And the reason for this, as I said, is I based it on a book that I'd read about storytelling with children. And the whole idea is that a story is a vehicle to language, okay? So, yes, we can do grammar exercises, we can do all kinds of things, but we can get an awful lot of language out of a simple children's story, right? And it doesn't matter whether it's a traditional story, you know, once upon a time, you know, there was a dragon, there was a prince and a princess, lovely, absolutely fine, or a more modern story. The important thing with stories is that they are language rich, okay? And they are a great vehicle for, if you like, carrying students towards new language, including vocabulary, structures, phrases, all kinds.
Might do, not just leaving the meeting.
Mohammed,
I'm not sure what kind of bug.
Check your WhatsApp.
I enabled the chat, my friend. Is it still? I enabled the chat again.
Yeah, okay.
So Zoom is...
Participants can hear me, I think. Great.
What do you want to say, Mr. Abul Mani? I unmuted
They're all saying
you.
They can hear me.
So Laura, they're saying that they can hear you.
Yes.
I am the only one who is not able to hear you.
Sorry.
Oh my God. I will disappear forever.
Sorry.
I am the one who is jinxed.
It's your... All right. So we'll go back to it. Let's hope you can see. That's it. Right. So remember, we were at the first stop, and our first stop was the topic of the story. All right. So as you can see, we have two cats in boxes. This will give you a clue to the story. If I were with you in class, if you were my children, as in the children I'm teaching, you'd be shouting, cat, box, cat, black, cat, brown, hopefully. That means at least they're listening, even if they're driving you mad. All right? And just for information, these were my cats, but unfortunately, they just grew old and died, but they lived a very long and happy life, being very spoiled. Okay, so the next stop in our story journey, okay, in our vehicle, is obviously the vocabulary. All right, so as you know, we can't start a story without some vocabulary. So we could either use flashcards, or in this case, I'm going to have to use pictures using PowerPoint, because that's easier. All right. So the map is here because there are many countries in my story. Okay. So in class, obviously, I would try and get the children to try to find or to guess the places on the map. So here, one of our first places is France. Okay. And another country in our story is Spain. All right. Okay. Obviously, the children might not have much geographical knowledge. Another place is Norway. All right. So 3 countries so far: France, Spain, Norway. In class, I would have, or even online, just show some pictures with the flags or whatever. All right. So I'll give you a little bit of information later. So, another country, of course, is Greece. And another country is Brazil. So I could show you on my map. Okay, over down here, Brazil. I can show you, and I can get children to come and point. And my last country is, sorry, there are 2 more. There's Berlin, obviously, which is in Germany, not a country but a city, and Japan. So we'll have lots of countries in our story. Okay, so, all right. You can see the pictures, okay, the picture in this case. I like the way somebody's doing some very good gymnastics there, Safe. You've got your camera on. Excellent. Very athletic technique. I'm very impressed. So, if you were in class, then I'd ask you to tell me, all right, what you can see. So you can tell me what the words of for this picture is. All right. So hello, hello. So if you are if you can see the chat, type in the word that you think represents this picture, and I shall stop drawing on my own pictures. Any guesses? Oh, very good. Halfway there. Good, good, good. We've got 1 word. Nice. Okay. Actually, this one has 2 words. So some people have said sing. Great. Okay. Nice. Sing is correct. Good adjective. It's yes. Who's got it first? It was somebody said sing and dance. And let's see. You are correct. Sing and dance. Okay, next one. Obviously, it's not as much fun when you're doing it with in a class. Obviously, in class, it's much more fun because the kids will be screaming. Okay, right. So, feel free to put your ideas in. Good. Fly. Nice. Excellent. Great. Okay. Let's see. Yes. Fly a plane. All right. So we've got sing and dance, fly a plane. Next one. This one, it would be difficult for our students, but your teachers. It's a phrase. What's the problem? It's a fat cat. So what happened to the cat? Yes, angry. Entrapment. I don't think young learners would know that word. Yes, poor fat cat. What's the problem with the cat? Yes, stuck. Stuck is good. Yes, and Stuck. Keep going. Stuck is the correct word. And where? Where is the cat stuck? I can see a lot of ideas coming there. Very creative, being teased by rats. Okay. Somebody's got a door hole. It's a door. Okay, let's see. I think you know this already. Stuck in a doorway. So to be stuck in a doorway, to get stuck in a doorway. Alrighty. Okay. Next one. Yalla bina. Oh, I've got a nice picture there. Don't know, remember doing that. Right, so what does she do? So you've got the girl on the left, and she decides. Let's see what you've got. Let's have a look. Got jump. Yes, she is jumping. Oh, thank you for liking my accent. I'm working on it. This was a bit of a difficult one, so I'd have to help the students with this. She likes jumping because she's very energetic. All very nice ideas. This was different, so don't be sad if you didn't get it. Join the police. So before she's doing her kung fu and her activity, now she's decided to join the police. Strange thing to do, but there you go. Somebody has to do it. We can't all be fantastic teachers like us. Right. Now, have a look at the picture. What's the problem? This is actually quite an old-fashioned word. Okay. So yes, she is sick, yes. Cold, flu. Okay. So somebody's got the verb to catch. Very good. Yes. Escaping from school. Nice. I see somebody's been, oh God, no, please not Corona. This was, I designed this before, I'm glad to say. So, you've got people have got catch flu and sneezing and things like this. This is a bit of an old-fashioned word, but you'll see why it's there later in the story. Okay. Oops, good morning. Catch a chill. A chill is a very old word for a cold or flu. All right? So it's spelled CHILL, like the word chili. All right? So to catch a chill is very old-fashioned, but sometimes in stories they use old-fashioned language, even in modern stories. All right? There you go. Next one. Aha! What's this clever cat doing? Not a guitar, but good. Play is correct. Very good. Yes. Okay, I think some of you got it. Nice. Play the violin. Lovely. All right. Okay. So, firstly, what is it? And I'll give you a clue. What do you do with it? I even have some realia. All right, let's see. Check your ideas. Ooh, peacock. Yes, to get a cold, to catch a cold. Okay, very good, fanning myself. And in this case, I was fanning myself, but you could also do this. Okay, right, I'll show you. Wave a fan. Okay, so you could also wave it. All right. Yes, usually if you were hot, as I often am, then you would fan yourself. But this one is wave. These are the phrases used in the story. So these are things we've got to go through with the kids, either using the pictures from the book or we could do this online. It doesn't matter. You have to decide. Okay, so we can make a vocabulary poster, and this is just an example. We can choose a country, and so on. But I'll come back to that because we're going to start our story. So, this is the story, okay? The title, could you share the slides, please? Yes, if you give me lots of money. Okay. The title of the story is My Cat Likes to Live in Boxes. No, sorry, to hide in boxes. So remember this. I'll put it in the chat. Okay. You'll need this line. It's very important. Nice one. Okay. Yes. I don't know what somebody did in my thing. I'll clear the drawings later. It was a great mystery to me how they got there. I don't remember doing them. Maybe somebody was missing. Anyway, I'll come back to it for now. All right. So, you'll notice that everything is back to front, but you can see the pictures. So have a look. We'll talk about the level at the end. So the first line is, my cat likes to hide in boxes. See? Right. Yes. So remember, my cat likes to hide in boxes. So, where is this cat from? What do you think? Oh, good guess. The cat from France likes to sing and dance. Okay. Actually, there was a bit of information. There you are, look. Can you see the Eiffel Tower? Okay. Whoops. The camera moved. Okay. So, the cat from France likes to sing and dance. The cat got fat in lockdown. Yeah, like all of us. All right. So, the cats from France like to sing and dance. Okay. But, what's happening here? Now you all know the line. So you can type this in the chat. My cat likes to hide in boxes. All right. You'll notice this line comes up all the time. The line is, my cat likes to hide in boxes. All right. This is a bit of a difficult one. Can you see what the cat is doing? Good. Very, very good. Oh, excellent. Somebody knows the story. Okay. So, the cat from Spain, okay, flew an aeroplane. Okay. The cat from France liked to sing and dance. But, remember, my cat. So remember the line? Okay. So after everyone, there is, after every line, can you remember about my cat? My cat likes to... Yes. So this is what I need you to write or say. There you go. That's fine. This is for everyone. My cat likes to hide in boxes. Slowly. There you go. That's the line you want. Stop changing the story. Okay, so next one. So remember what happened with this fat cat? Okay, remember the line? What happened to the cat? Because it's fat? Good, yes. So, the cat from Norway got stuck in the doorway. Ugh, couldn't get out. Okay, the cat from Spain flew an aeroplane. All right. The cat from France liked to sing and dance. Yes, exactly. But, now you all have to type this in. Okay. This is where the important line is. My cat likes to hide in boxes. All right. Yes, very good. I'll try and unmute some of you later so that you can join in. Okay. So, very good. Okie doke. Where's this cat from? Nice. Correct. The cat from Greece joined the police. The cat from Norway got stuck in a doorway. Okay. The cat from Spain flew an aeroplane. Okay. The cat from France likes to sing and dance. Love you. Strange moments. So, but my cat likes to hide in boxes. Okay. Oh, we haven't got a cat from Egypt. I'm so sorry. So look at this. Alrighty. Aha. Now, any guesses where this cat is from? Not the easiest picture. Sorry. Any ideas? We've had Spain, so even though, yes, your guesses are very good, we haven't got Mexico in our story. But very near, we have Brazil. So the cat from Brazil caught a very bad chill. Okay. The cat from Greece joined the police. The cat from Norway got stuck in a doorway. The cat from Spain flew an aeroplane. And the cat from France likes to sing and dance. Okay. But, right, you all know this now. You should all know this by now. So what's the important line? But, bingo, yes. This is where I'd like to unmute you all and have you all say, my cat likes to hide in boxes. Thank you. Ah, now, what is this clever cat doing? Any guesses? Excellent, good. So, the cat from Berlin played the violin. All right. The cat from Brazil caught a very bad chill. Okay, all right. The cat from Greece joined the police. The cat from Norway got stuck in the doorway. All right. The cat from Spain flew an aeroplane. Okay. The cat from France liked to la 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 sing and dance. Okay. Yes, you're getting ready for it. But excellent. My cat likes to hide in boxes. So with your kids in the class, you get them all to shout, but my cat likes to hide in boxes. Okay? Because they can repeat this again and again. I like that. The cat from Hungary. Okay. Right. Our last cat. So where's this cat from and what has it got? Bingo. And what is the cat holding? Yes, very good. Excellent. So, the cat from Japan waved a big blue fan. Okay. The cat from Berlin played the violin. The cat from Brazil caught a very bad chill. Okay. The cat from Greece joined the police. The cat from Norway got stuck in the doorway. The cat from Spain flew an aeroplane. Okay. And the cat from France liked to sing and dance. Okay, yes. But my cat likes to hide in boxes. All right. So at the end of the story, okay, you can see some of the pictures. Okay. So it says, look at all these clever cats. Cats from Spain, Brazil and France. Cats from Greece, Japan and Norway. Cats who sing and fly and dance. Guess what? The last chance. But my cat likes to hide in boxes. There it is. The last cat, the last picture. All right. Obviously, you're going to do this more slowly in class, all right? Actually, you might, I don't know where to get this story as a PDF. It is a good question. It's, because I'm not supposed to endorse illegal photocopying, but I can tell you a bit more about this story. It's actually quite easy. So I can probably recommend somewhere to find it. All right. So, back to our journey. So remember, we were on the second stop, which was vocabulary. All right. So obviously, in the because doing a story on its own is great. The wonderful thing about this story is it's repetitive. It's great for differentiated teaching and learning because everybody can join in, and this is why stories are good. It doesn't matter if your children's English isn't very good, all right? Because if they can just remember words or actions, they can do the actions like sing and dance, okay? Fly a plane. So you've got something for everybody, all right? Often when children listen to stories or participate, some will just mime the actions, okay? Which is fine. Some will shout out the words, also great. They all participate in their own way. So don't sort of, be upset or panic if the children aren't saying the words, all right? Because they will need to hear something several times. You will have to repeat things with them. I mean, for this story, you just need to teach them the one phrase. But my cat likes to hide in boxes. Khalas, that's it, all right? And they'll pick up all the rest because they will acquire. Back to Krashen's theory of acquisition, all right? So there will be a lot of acquiring going on, all right? And yes, I mentioned, the children can move, and that's great. And to be honest, I mean, the children should be standing up Or it depends on your class, obviously. At the moment, of course, we're all online, but in class, the children could be sitting on a mat if you have one. If not, depending on the size of your classroom, if it's cramped, they could just stand behind their desks and do the actions, okay? So either way, they could participate in their own, in the way that suits them, okay? Because you know some children will be very active and throwing out all kinds of language. Other children will be just acting because it's less stressful for them. It doesn't mean they're not getting anything. In fact, what it shows you is if the children are acting, doing the miming, it means they're participating and they're listening. If you get those funny children that say things like, oh, a cat, I've got a cat, and my sister's got a cat, and it's very big and very fluffy, and you might be thinking, stop interrupting my story. But that means they're really taking an interest, all right? You can never tell a story in class with young learners without them interrupting. They've all got something to say. So don't be surprised. I'm sure many of you know this already because you, well done, you found it. Smart, smart. Shatura, excellent. All right, nice. So, how to develop the vocabulary? We could turn this into a little sort of vocabulary project because we've got different countries in the story. So we could have children working in groups, give them a little a map, and they have to try and think of words that go with that country. Okay, of course you're going to have to help them, you know, by using pictures, using word cards, depending on the children's age and linguistic ability. And we'll talk about which age this is suitable for later. All right. So, because we've got these things. What else do we think of? And we think of croissant, maybe. Right. So things that associations. All right. Okay. So that's something we can do on our journey. Next stop. Oh, good morning. Okay. So the third stop is where we're sequencing and developing the story. So, go. So what you've noticed in this story is rhyming words. France. So which word in the story rhymes with France? Feel free to add it to the chat. So which word rhymes with France? Yay! Somebody's in. Excellent. Okay, great. Okay. Which word rhymes with Spain? From the story. Type it in. Yes, excellent. Lovely. All right. And which phrase or word from the story rhymes with Norway? Very good. Yes. Yes. Okay. So let's have a look. Bingo. So I did the lazy one. All righty. So we've got, so that's something we can do just with simple vocabulary. If we want to develop the language even more, so before we just worked at word level, all right? So this is just word level. France, dance. Spain, plane. Norway, doorway. You can have your own little chant just using those words, okay? You can have like a kind of tennis. I say France, you say dance. I say Spain, you say plane, aeroplane, whatever, okay? I say Norway, you say doorway, all right? So this is a very simple way of form of drilling, all right? And you can make it more musical. France, dance, Spain, plane, Norway, doorway, okay? To make it more interesting. Okay, so now we have another kind of vocabulary and structural developing task, all right? So this is where we need some phrases from the story. So, the cat from France. See if you can remember the whole phrase for it. So, the cat from France. What's the other half? Good, likes, yes, excellent, lovely, brilliant. Okay. The cat from Spain. What did the cat from Spain do? Okay, all righty. The cat from Norway. I'll show you the answers after, don't worry. So what about the cat from Norway? Great, okay, good. The cat from Greece. Oh, okay. And the cat from Brazil. Very good, excellent, right. And the cat from Berlin. Yes, great. And the cat from Japan? Lovely. Okay, let's have a look. So, what have we got? Oh, I see. Yes. Yes. So we went from previously just word level, just France, dance, Spain, plain, okay? Now, this is a receptive activity because we could do this with the sentences cut in half, yeah? And then match them. So if we're doing this face to face, obviously we can cut up colored cards, colored paper, and the kids can match them. You can do this on your interactive whiteboard, okay? If we're still teaching online, which of course we don't know how long this will go on for, obviously, we can use things like Microsoft Forms, which also work with matching activities. I only learned this today, so I haven't done it. I freely confess. Anyway, I'm older than most of you, so I'm not supposed to know. All right. Oh, thank you. So, further developing of the language. You see how much there is in this story. This is why stories are so important, because we've got some quite complicated or not vocabulary that doesn't occur in a course book, you know, got stuck in a doorway. Okay, this is a chunk. Some of you will be familiar with this phrase of language chunks, all right? And it's what we should be teaching students, whether they're small people or big people. This is, of course, discussed at great length in the lexical approach. You know, this is memorable language. Got stuck in a doorway, like the big fat cat. Joined the police. Caught it very bad chill. Yes, chill is old, but it's still a nice word. You know, it's not a useless word, because we still use this as an adjective to describe, you know, cold weather, chilly. All right. And you've got these phrases: fly a plane, okay? Flew an aeroplane, played the violin, waved a big blue fan. So all of these are chunks of language, which help to develop your students' linguistic ability as well. All right, the journey continues. So further extension, our next stop. Okay, so we want to extend our vocabulary. This is a classic speaking activity. I'm sure you've all done one in your teaching careers. All right. Find someone who activities. So we could have this as a speaking activity. Basically, we can add a few extra verbs depending on the children's linguistic ability. Sing, dance, ski, nice consonant cluster for our students. Play the violin, speak French, Spanish, Japanese, whatever. Can play tennis, can play football. All right. So basically, they go around the class asking each other. They all have the questions, the phrases, and now they have to form questions. So you need to go through this with the class first. Anybody who's done CELTA with me will be like, you've got to demo, and absolutely right. And with children particularly so. So you all get them to repeat. Can you sing? Okay. Can you sing? Okay. Can you dance? Can you ski? Can you play the violin? Violin. Play the violin. Can you play the violin? So you're going to have to drill the questions with everybody, the whole class, and then they can ask each other. They can do this as a pair work. They can do this as a whole class mingling. This all depends on your students, your classroom, teaching situation, and how well behaved the students are. If you know that you have a naughty class that you find difficult to control, then feel free to do it in pairs. All right? If you have desks that are fixed, okay, so chunk, chunk, chunk. All right, I'll stop sharing for a minute so I can see what I'm doing. So it's very common in many classrooms to have desk, 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 and desks behind. So if you're worried about children moving around and being naughty, they can ask each other, so they can ask the person next to them, and they can turn around and speak to the person behind them without moving, all right? So that's a simple classroom management technique, especially when you have very large classes of 40, 50, and so on, all right? So it doesn't always have to be moving around. Excuse me. Right. So further development of language. That was our next stop. Excuse me. This is one of my absolute favorites, all-time favorites to do with children, is making a big book. All right. So they can choose one cat from the story. And the nice thing about big books, I will show you one that an example of one I've done with the kids. The children will make them, all right? This is very important. So we've got masses of skills development here, all right? And you'll be amazed how much children like doing this, even in this technological age. So this can be completed by all abilities, all right? So we use some phrases to help, just some examples. Okay, we don't have to do it like this. I shall show you one. Okay. So this is a big book, all right? So excuse me that it shows the opposite. It's like a mirror, all right? So this is my cat. So my big book, I'll have to stand, all right? This is my big book that I made. Okay, and you can make your books how you want with some big paper, small paper, whatever. Okay, first page, and now I have, I made my book like this. Okay. So I can write some sentences. Okay, so again, this is further language development. So we've had speaking, so more development of the productive skill. I'll read it to you because it's the wrong way around. The cat from Spain is grey, and he's fat. Okay, he's wearing a beret, one of those French hats, and he's wearing a cape, a cloak, All right. The cat from Spain flew an aeroplane. So they can use language from the story. Okay. We can do other things with our big books. If your children, because again, every class is mixed ability, is that if some children in your class find it difficult to write, they can draw or stick pictures, okay? So this is why big books are great. Everybody can do it, okay? It's doable, each and every student. Or, excuse me, oops, technical moment. Right. Here, I have an envelope, handmade, and I'll just show you some examples that are in my envelope. Okay. So I have got some vocabulary from my story. So I've got the countries, okay? So I've got France, Norway, of course Greece, Spain, and so on, right? But I've also got some of the words from the story, like doorway, dance, okay, violin, and the children can make their own matching activities, or you can make them with them. So I can do this very easily. I can go, oh, the cat, sorry, excuse me, the cat's from France. Join the police? And they'll go, no! Stupid teacher. Okay. Cat from France like to sing and dance. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. So we've got a simple matching activity that you can do on bits of paper. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Okay. Some old scrap paper, or post-it notes. If you've got post-it notes nearby, that's great because you can stick them on the board so the children can do a matching activity. Thank you. Children love making big books. Okay, I've taught kids in the UK, and when I say I taught in the UK, thank you. I taught children from lots of different countries. All right. So when you teach English in the UK, you teach many nationalities, and I've done this also with kids in Ukraine, kids in Turkey. I haven't had the chance to do it with children in Egypt yet, but also in the Middle East and in Thailand, Cambodia, and so on. I've never met a kid who didn't like it. It doesn't matter how technological we are. Children like touching things, okay? They are tactile. Okay? So you know what tactile means. It means to touch things. And when they make things like this, and you can make all kinds of shapes. You can have it, like, you know, I had it that way. You can have it to open this way. You can make pop-up figures. There's zillions of things you can do. And like I said, everybody can do it. So every child in the class can do this. It doesn't matter how good or bad their English is. All right? And, of course, anybody who has taught children before knows that children must have a product at the end of the lesson. All right? This is really important for you as teachers, especially those of you who work in expensive private schools, because parents are like, I'm paying thousands of dollars for this. What are they learning? So you know what kids are like. Many of you are mums and dads. They say, what did you do at school? And they all go, nothing. Or we played a game. And the parents are going, Jesus, I paid loads of money for this. What the hell? You know, and they come into the school and complain, God, these teachers are rubbish. They don't do any grammar exercises. They just played a game. Because children remember the last thing they did. And if they had fun, they've forgotten that you did some grammar. They've forgotten that you did some vocabulary. All they remember is they played a game. It's like, why are you asking me? So, if they have something to take home, like a book that they made, so it's not only that sort of, you know, you've got a sense of achievement, something they made, but they've also got a product. This protects you, the teacher, okay? So when parents are saying, oh, haven't you done the past tense yet? And haven't you done the present tense continuous? Yeah. Same old, we've all heard it. And we're all fed up to the back teeth with it, but of course we have to smile and say, of course, madame and sir. All right? This is a great protector for you. So the children have got, yes, the product may save you. It really does. It makes a big difference. So it's really worth having children doing things that they can share. And show, I should say. It's show and tell in all its entirety. So big books, they can stick things, they can draw things. You can make the book as big or as small as you want, depending on your resources. All right. It's a far more useful homework task than filling in a lot of boring gap fills, all right? Because this is, you know, also allows children to be creative, all right? So that's very, very important. Okie doke. We're just getting towards the end part there. So, other things we can do, preposition practice, all right? So, because it's all about cats and boxes, I haven't got a real cat, but you can say hello to this cat, all right? So I could have a toy cat that I could put Okay, so where's my cat? Okay, so I've got a cat on top of the box. I've got a cat under the box. Okay, I've got, oops, these are just two examples. I forgot they only had two, not three. Okay, in the box, behind the box. All right, we've got lots and lots of preposition practice. Okay, other ideas for further extension. You've all done this before, a picture dictation. You can draw a cat. All right. Oh, yes, the box next to the box. Very nice indeed. Yes. So you can say, right, draw a circle, and they draw the circle. Draw two triangles. You see, this all brings in its extra CLIL. It brings in other subjects. If they've done maths already, triangles, circles, rectangles, you can integrate that into your language class. All right, draw a tail, and then see what funny pictures they come up with. All right, so that could be a whole class activity, a pair work activity. Making your own cat box, okay? Again, this is very creative. The children can express themselves, by making who can make the most interesting box for cats to hide in. And then they could use a toy cat or their cat picture and practice putting it in the box, behind the box, under the box, okay? Or even a cuddly toy, whatever. Okay. Obviously, making a cat puppet. If you're super creative, there are lots of ideas online as to how to make easy puppets. I haven't got a cat puppet, but I do have, maybe, do I have it nearby? It was sitting next to me earlier, but I don't know if it ran away. Yes. I lost my cat puppet. I'm totally honest about it. But I do, just to give you an idea, this is obviously not a cat. This is a witch from another well-known story. But you can make puppets with moving parts, with those pins at the back, what's it called, split pins. So I've got, this is my witch puppet. She can move her legs and her arms, okay? All right. So how you make your puppet is up to you. Or you could just find some socks. Socks are a great way to make puppets. So, get a sock. Just they can just stick plastic on it. They can stick pieces of paper, colored paper, and some triangles, and you've got your sock puppet. So you don't have to have fancy equipment. And in fact, the more basic your equipment is, the more creative your students are. So, especially if you started teaching, as I did, many, many years ago when dinosaurs were still roaming the earth, we had nothing. We didn't have, fancy textbooks. We didn't have CDs. Sometimes we didn't even have cassettes. We had nothing. And no flashcards. We had to make them all ourselves. Okay, hide the cat game. Okay, so more language practice. Where's the cat? Okay, so if I've got my cat, so this is my big lazy cat, okay? So where's the cat? It's under the table, it's on the table, it's next to the table, all right? So they can do this in pairs, you have to demonstrate it. They're getting lots of practice. And obviously miming the story, and you can do this in different ways. You can retell the story and they do all the actions. As your students become more proficient or more confident with the story, maybe half the class can start to mime the story, and the other half of the class can try to tell the story. All right? So that's just one idea. And you do a little bit each. Like they mime one or two sentences, the other half of the class say the sentences, change over. Right, the other side mime, and this side now tell. All right? So lots of ways of doing this. If you're into project work and getting more CLIL activities out of this, obviously the relatives or the ancestors of cats, which are tigers and lions, so they could do a little history. All right? These ideas are as limited as your imagination. and your kids can often come up with really good ideas, often much better than mine. You can have a time capsule. Some of you might know about time capsules, where you make like bring a real cat. Yes, I would feel sorry for the cat with a group of 30 children. The poor cat would be traumatized. Puppets are easier, or soft toys. But you can have a time capsule, you know, which is something where children fill a box with things from their time. So it could be things from the story, you know, the cat from Brazil, the cat from Spain, and they have little objects that they put in a box or in a container, and they have to bury it. And then years later, people are supposed to find them and see what they think. All right. So there's a lot of stuff in time capsules. Fun. Right. Someone's asking for teaching reading and things like this. So stories are just full of language. I mean, from one little story, we've got phonology, we had rhyming, all right? We had vocabulary development, we had sentence structure, we had speaking, we had writing, okay? And if your students wrote some sentences in their big books, they can give them to each other to read, all right? So we've further developed their reading skills as well, all right? So there's lots and lots going on. Yes, you can use graded stories. Sorry, somebody's saying, what about adults or secondary students? This is a young learner session, so you can use stories with older learners, but not these ones, obviously. All right. Oh, somebody said, don't forget the website. Yes. Okay, I'll do that at the end. Don't worry. Okay. So, keep going. So let's think about the age group for this story. This will depend on your students, but feel free to just raise the hand. Excuse me. Yes. Who did I lose? Somebody raised their hand. Okay. Okay. Oops. Sorry, Mohammed. So this will depend on the linguistic level of your students, because, you know, every school is different. Some schools are doing more English than others. I think you can do this with any age from 7, 8 plus, all right? Because it'll also depend on the maturity of your students. Sometimes 8-year-olds are a bit more mature than, yes, 5-year-olds. Maybe you won't be doing as much writing, okay? But you can do more speaking and vocabulary practice, okay? So they could be 5 years old, they could be 6 years old, 7, 8, 9. It depends. Some children will, sorry, I'm just answering Mohammed. So it really depends, because some children like doing quite childish stories, all right? When other parts of this story, other materials I have with this story, I don't have with me. I have like flags and geography and things like this. So you can also do this sometimes with 9-year-olds, sometimes even 10-year-olds. It really does depend on the maturity of the class. Okay. So, yalla yalla. All right. So, the end of this presentation is that may your story journey take you in many wonderful directions, because this is the wonder of stories. Stories can take you everywhere and anywhere. All right. So all I'm going to do is finish with some information. All right, some of the boring stuff, and I hope I've remembered things, because I always worry. Hello, hello. Unmute. Yes. Can we hear you?
Hi, Laura, how are you?
Very well, how are you?
Okay, I'm so grateful to hear your session today. It was really amazing. And as a teacher for early years student, I got benefit from your session. But okay, but for me, I didn't understand really the main aim of the story. Is it teaching vocabulary or grammar as preposition
Everything.
or phonology? Everything.
Everything.
Wow, amazing.
Yes. Yes. Okay, I'll stop you there because you've just asked an excellent question. Right. As you heard, Heather asked an excellent question. What's the aim? That's the thing with stories. You can teach anything and everything because everything is in a story. Okay? You've got vocabulary. You've got grammar. All right? So if you remember the two joining, the cat from France liked to sing and dance. That's a sentence, isn't it? That's grammar. That's the past simple. All right? So we've got as much or as little as you like. All right? That's a good title. How to teach everything from a story. Everything is there. Pronunciation, like I said, we've got the rhyming, dance, France, Greece, police. All right? This is phonological awareness. But we're not going to tell children, oh, yes, we're going to do some phonology today, because they're just going to look at you and go, hey, okay, sure, what are you talking about? All right, somebody raised hands, okay. Okie dokie. Who's this? Yes, another Heather. Okay. Hello there. Can we hear you?
Well, now can you hear me?
A little. Yeah, you might need to get closer to your mic, please.
Okay, would that be fine? That's okay?
Yes, my old ears can hear you. Go for it.
Well, I think stories are very, very great things. They are part of projects. Projects are magic with children, especially. So when I taught my children or my pupils in class, I used projects. They did everything, whatever I told them, they do it just to reach that moment when we do projects. So
wonderful.
yes, it's a very, very nice activity, and I hope all teachers use it.
Yes, I hope you
Effectively.
continue.
Excuse me?
I hope you continue using stories.
Yes, of course, I will continue doing that. And thank you very much. You are very, very nice, and your language is very easy, and you can deliver the information very easily.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you. All right, I'll have to mute you just to finish off.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. So this is it. Stories have absolutely everything. All right. And we'll talk about books that you can use with even smaller people, 4-year-olds and so on, preschoolers. Okay. So just to round up, as we've said before, stories have got everything. You can have skills development, you can do project development. In some countries, some schools actually have a story-based curriculum because it's so effective. Now, of course, many countries won't allow that because they think it's too, it's just playing and it's not serious. But that's absolutely nonsense. Absolute nonsense. I mean, here's an excellent example of what we would call quite a complex grammatical structure. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Okay? So if you remember in the story, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, the three bears go off and the naughty girl Goldilocks comes to their house and she eats their food and she tries their chairs and tries their beds and everything. So they come back and they say, who's been sleeping in my bed? Who's been eating my porridge? Who's been sitting in my chair? This is present perfect continuous. How many of us have taught primary school kids the present perfect continuous? We don't. It doesn't occur in most children's course books. But in a story, okay, we can get the children to acquire it. We don't have to go into grammatical explanations. We just get them to repeat the whole idea. All together, your daddy bear. Who's been sitting in my chair? Okay, and baby bear. Who's been sitting in my chair? And she's broken it. You see, you've got all that language, okay? Complicated language. It very rarely, occurs in very young children's textbooks. Okay, So I'm going to have one question because we've had two girls, so we should also have two boys, I think. Ahmad? Hello there. Oops, lost it. Okay, I'm going to have to just finish off because some people I'm sure want to go to bed. You're Egyptians, you don't go to bed, do you? So let's finish off. Cats, of course, are very funky. They like to sing and dance. Okay, whoops. All right. So, if you're interested in more of this, I hope you found it useful. And feel free to ask me more and more questions. Okay. With stories, somebody's asked a very important question is, do you teach the whole story at once or do you teach it bit by bit? It depends on the class. Usually bit by bit is the way to go. Like one lesson you do maybe one page, 3 or 4 lines, or another time 8 lines, 6 lines. It all depends on how long your lessons are, how many hours of English you have a week. Please use your judgment and trust yourselves. You usually are doing the right thing. And you'll know if you're doing too much because the kids will be just sort of going, don't understand. All right, so they're getting tired and they start being naughty. So I'm sure you can see this for yourselves, so I'm not going to read it out and insult your intelligence. You are all highly educated people. These are the courses that are coming up. So we have the pronunciation course starting next Friday. We're doing a young learners course which will cover a different subject every week with observations, and we'll also do things like how to teach children grammar, vocab, speaking, listening, reading, and so on. All right. The reason I haven't given a date for the storytelling, I actually have another course which is 12 hours where we look at even more storytelling ideas. It's 3 hours a week over 4 weeks, and I'm just rearranging my timetable. So as soon as we know, we'll put those dates up on the Facebook page. And yes, Rad was going, don't forget the websites! And don't forget, there's a little prize here, yes. Mohammed has very wisely reminded me to not forget something incredibly important. So, this is just the information. All righty. So, I need the course link. So you've got the course link here. There's a form to fill in. Okay. So, I will give you, I think I'm supposed to show my screenshot. Wait a minute. Just bear with me. File. Let's see if I can get this right. Can I have a... Oh, I've lost my file. I'll have to get Mohammed to help me. All right. Mohammed, I'm going to need your help. I can't find my screenshot. I can't see the file option. Is it because I'm not a host? Okay. I'll answer your other questions at the end of the session, but there is something I have to do important. It's very important. Otherwise, Mohammed will kill me, because on the last slide, there is a little piece of information. There's a form that you fill in here. If you fill in all the details, you might win a free place on the TEFL course. And I'm ashamed to say I can't find my screenshot that I took so diligently and prepared. Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you. He has rescued me. All right. My lifesaver. All right. Okay. So this Mohammed's got all the links there for all the courses. All right. And I will answer some of your questions in the chat as I finish. All right. So thank you very much for joining me, and I sincerely hope you found it useful. This is just a taster. That's why I said if you want to join the storytelling course later, I would be very happy to see you again. All right. This is just some ways. There are many, 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 many more ways of using stories in class. Okay. So good night, and thank you very, very, very much for participating. Okay. So put your questions on there and I shall leave you in peace. Thank you, Mohammed. And I will add the books and websites as well. Don't worry, Radwa. Okay. Good night, everybody. Have a lovely evening. And you can ask me questions on the Facebook page. I will come and answer them. All right. Thank you. Good night. Bye-bye.